What a way to start a video, right? To just breathe into your ears. You're welcome. Actually, I really like just exhaling like that because it relaxes your nervous system. So something to pay attention to in your guys' part. Let's start off with that little exhale and let's get into the video. So I want to talk a little bit about the expectations of how your life changes as you get deeper into Nofap, okay? The topic I really want to talk about is how your environment is going to drastically change as you go through Nofap. You're going to discover things about yourself that you've never seen before. And that is going to cause conflict amongst the people around you, or even with yourself with other people. It doesn't even have to be someone else's fault. It could be that as you start to go through Nofap, your goals are going to change, your awareness is going to change, your character is going to start to come out. And it's not like you can really talk to the average person about what you're doing with Nofap and expect it to be like a normal conversation. Most people, when they hear that you're doing Nofap, they're going to think that you're like out of your fucking mind. Maybe a small degree of people won't. Some people will support it. Not many people are going to be doing it themselves. So in some ways, you're kind of on your own in that notion. But what does start to happen as you go through Nofap is because your daily hobbies and your daily habits and actions start to change, you're going to start just meeting different people. And you're going to meet different people at a new stage of your life where you may connect with them, but a couple months ago when you were on the prawn, you might not have been able to connect with them, if that makes sense. Your dynamic changes, your environment changes as you go through it. And I think that this is what really trips people up, because in some way, you have to let go of your past self. There's a part of you that's literally going to disappear as you go through Nofap. And as you start to learn how to be more calm and you start to be able to handle those urges and handle those cravings, well, eventually those are going to come down. And you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're doing more than you've ever have. Maybe you're spending a lot of time playing video games and, of course, watching prawn, and maybe you're eating a lot of fast food and you're overweight. All of a sudden you get into Nofap, you start going to the gym, you start exercising, you play less video games, maybe you put more time into your studies or into your work or into your business, and all of a sudden you're starting to spend more time alone and less time with the people that you usually spend time with, even if it's people that are just online. Even your online social circle is going to change over time. And I believe that unless you're ready for that adaptation, until you're ready to move forward and literally change the way that your environment is, it's going to be so difficult to let the past go. A lot of us got into prawn could possibly be from like a traumatic event that might have happened. Let me show you guys this book I've been reading. It's called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk, MD, who specializes in the treatment of trauma patients. And maybe possibly you went through a very traumatic experience that is very hard to let go, and that can keep you on the addiction, right? Maybe you got caught in by accident, like me. When I first got into it, I was told it was good for you. I genuinely had good intentions with it, but they say the path to hell is paved with good intentions, because it's not about the intention. It's just about what you're doing. So I didn't know better. And if that was you, and you didn't know better, and now you know, you got to be ready to let that part go, because what's going to start happening is when we get those craving and urges, the reason why we get those craving and urges is because we're trying to hide and run from something. So lately, I've really been on using the cravings and urges as a tool in my toolbox. So what I mean by that is when I feel the cravings or urges, I'll ask myself, what am I running away from? What needs to be done that I'm not facing or that I'm not dealing with? Oh, is the craving really something that I have to do? Or is it something that I'm just trying to escape from my responsibilities? It's tough. It's tough. Because for the first time, you're going to be really stressed about and feeling bad about not getting things done. When you're really into the prawn and your dopamine is all messed up, you might not even care about certain things. Maybe you've always really wanted to start a business, but you're watching a lot of prawn and you're fapping, and you just don't really have any intention or care for your business. You might not even know that you want to start a business. And then all of a sudden you start getting into Nofap and you start to think about how you want to change the world. Because I believe a purpose, and a lot of people, especially in the red pill, they talk about like, oh, you gotta be on your purpose, you gotta be on your purpose. And I think that people get really confused as far as what purpose is. So I'm gonna explain it to you in a very simple way. As human beings, we are creatures of society, and we are creatures that need to be in packs, and usually are in like large social circles. We are a society. We are a whole, not just the sum of its parts, but we are a whole. And I believe that everyone's purpose is to help society, help human evolution move forward. Now, of course, you have some degenerates that just waste their time like robbing people and such, but I think everybody also goes through that time of their life, and it could be a powerful way to kind of look forward and say, you know what, I'm going to leave that in the past and I'm going to start working towards something that is going to move society forward. That is actual purpose. So you got to think to yourself, like, what things have you struggled with that you've conquered, or things that you're good at, or things that you're interested in getting good at? You think about these things that could potentially help a lot of people. And the thought of that, it's going to come in and you're going to think of it and you're going to get this weird feeling of like, almost like a happiness. Like, yeah, I really feel like I should be doing that. And you might not even say, hey, you might even say like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. But then a week later, it comes back. And it's something that continuously comes back. It just revisits. It revisits you. The idea keeps revisiting you. And the more that you try to push away from it, the more that you're going to get those cravings and urges. So what ends up happening is, if you continue pushing away these real ideas and these real thoughts of purpose, of these things that you want to try to bring to the world, to bring some fulfillment to your life and to help other people, if you're not fulfilling that, well, then you're going to feel that anxiety. You're going to feel that depression. You're going to be taken over by it. And you're going to wind up falling right back into your old habits. Because Nofap is not just about using willpower and discipline to not do a thing. It's about recreating yourself. You're starting over. You're starting life over. It's almost like a rebirth, There is something to it where you're literally shedding the past version of yourself and you're going into something completely new. The big question is, how can we free ourselves from the cravings, or how can we create a life for ourselves where we're not even thinking about it? And I think that is going to come from meditation, being present with yourself, having a change of environment. That means social circle, where you work, where you spend your time, and really clear goals. Really clear goals as far as what you want to accomplish. That's actually going to be probably my next video topic or something along those lines, at least at some point. I want to make a video on getting very clear at what you want. If you're ever familiar with Jordan Peterson's work, they talk about if you really want to be motivated to do something, you have to have a clear image of what you don't want. Like, I mean, down to a pat. Like, what's the type of lifestyle that the worst case scenario of yourself is? If you were to continue watching porn, if you were to continue wasting your life away with toxic individuals and all that, where would you be? And then you look at the best case scenario. Where would you be if you were disciplined, if you were focused, if you were working out and you were on your purpose and you're doing these things, right? What would it entail to? And when you have clarity on both of these parts, all of a sudden, it starts to become easier to follow the path because you're clear on what you want and you're clear on what you don't want. And then what ends up happening is that's enough to get you started. And you start building up those good habits to the point where if you don't work on your purpose, it feels weird. You all of a sudden start to crave working on your purpose. There's a craving that I know for me, like I literally crave recording videos. I literally crave trying to get better at YouTube. I crave it now. I don't even know where it came from. I didn't crave this before, but I really enjoy it and I really crave it and I find it fulfilling and I really hope that it's helping people. You know, I see the subscribe. I think we're at like 10 subscribers now on this channel. I see people liking the post. I see a couple people commenting and it makes me really happy. You know what? I feel like I have a lot of experience in this field and I want to continue sharing that experience and hopefully helping not just with sharing information, but hopefully being able to help guide and coach and give actionable steps towards people to get towards their goals. So, you know, that's kind of what I want to do right now. That's kind of where my goal is. If you want, you can let me know in a comment. What are you trying to go towards? What are you trying to do this Nofap for anyway? Why is this important to you? You know, these are the questions that we got to ask ourselves. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why is this so important to me? Why is it so important for me to quit these bad habits and start building a life for myself? Why is this important? That's what we got to know, and that's what we're figuring out by the end of this video. So I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe as it really helps out, and I will talk to you guys next time.